have an audience of entrepreneurs that are probably on the journey. They're trying to figure out maybe what they want. What advice do you give someone in that position on how to attack social media? Because they might think they want success or they want money, but I don't think that's what they want. They want to be able to make money in a way that makes them happy, right?
Well, I mean, what I do doesn't always make me happy. I make money so I can, have options.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, a lot of people always think that you're going to get rich so you can do what you want. And a lot of the rich people I know, they do what they don't want, which is why they're rich. So they get that backwards.
But you're doing what you want, though. Just not every day.
Yeah, but I'm also not a billionaire yet. and I think it's because I do what I want. But that's why I keep going back and forth. Like, do I really want to be a billionaire? Well, not if it means I have to be some robotic. Now my life's over and I'm a billionaire, but I didn't enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
I ate freaking basically shit food the whole time. I worked out the whole time. I worried about everybody else's opinion the whole time. And then when I finally got there, I'm like, hey, I'm here. Look, I made it, everyone. And no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Now everybody hates you because you're a billionaire. You're like, damn, I thought everyone was going to love me. I thought everyone was going to care about me. So you basically spent your whole life worrying about everybody else's opinion.
Yeah.
I don't do that. Why? Well, because again, you can't make everyone happy, bro. So you might as well pick yourself.
That's a fact. I'm learning a lot right now. And
not only that, dude, people will start to envy you. People will start to be like, damn, I want to be like him. Why? Well, because, dude, you're free. You don't care so much anymore about people thinking you're something or whatever. Yeah. It's just like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Now you start to focus and think, what do I want? And then pretty soon you start attaining those things.
Yeah.
And then again, other than the occasional going back and forth, because sometimes I'll think I want something, and then after I'm heading that way, it's like, I don't know.
Right.
But dude, realistically, that's just the voice talking.
Yeah.
You have a boss voice and a bitch voice, the navigator and the negotiator. Okay. We listen to the negotiator all day long.
Who's the negotiator? Talk to me about
that. The negotiator is the one that says, dude, you don't need to work out tonight, dude. You're looking good. You're already freaking down 10 pounds. Besides that, dude, you just did 4 days in a row. She ain't going to be here all night, dog. Just go out for a minute. You can work out tomorrow.
That negotiator's good, though.
Dude, we negotiate ourselves out of everything we want.
Yeah.
If you really, because again, first of all, you got to take responsibility for whatever you're in.
Yeah.
Most people won't do that either. I have done that. Everything's my fault. Okay. So if you take responsibility and you really fully understand that everything is because of you, then now you can take ownership and then start making changes.
Yeah. Who's the navigator?
The navigator, again, it's still you. It's just another voice. And the navigator is the one that wants you to do the right thing, because we all know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
You can call it intuition, you can call it whatever. But if I said to you real quick, what's better for you? A salad or a frickin', Five Guys and fries, with a peanut butter milkshake?
Salad, of course.
Of course. So why are you eating a Five Guys and fries and a peanut butter milkshake? At the end of the day, it's because deep down, I think people subconsciously, which is below awareness, that's why they call it below, conscious, aware, subconsciously, we don't think we deserve any more than we have, which is why we never get any more than we got. You're never going to outperform your own self-image.
Okay, when I saw Joe Rogan get $100 million, I was inspired. Why? Because I didn't know it was possible. I didn't think it was like nothing like that was possible.
It's extremely possible.
How you know?
You know how I know? This is how I'm going to say how I know. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say I know because when you put the work in, everything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times we don't, when you're really about your work and you really, when they open the hood and everything match up, and I think it ain't just about the numbers. It's about multiple things. I don't think when you're going into a room, because it don't always happen inside of offices. The deals don't always happen. They can happen in a restaurant. Our first joint happened in a restaurant. Our second one happened both our deals was under 10 minutes. Like the negotiation, we'd talk, go back and forth real quick. Like we sitting down right here and then we go to legal with it. It's that simple. It's not hard. But it's a measurement of numbers, it's a measurement of cultural impact. And that's shit that you
Explain that.
Cultural impact is this. You could be doing something, right? And it's cool, you could be doing numbers, people can watch it. But do you have impact on culture and do you have impact on people's lives? That's the measurement that a lot of people don't understand. So it's like, yeah, you might have people that do stuff, but do people really listen to your stuff? Do you move people by your stuff? Is people influenced by your stuff? What impact do you have on culture? Not just black, just culture. Culture of now. It's different type of cultures. So it's a big ass measurement there, right? And then it comes into ownership. One thing about $1 million worth of game, I can't say this for everybody else. Gil owned 50%, I own 50% of all our shit.
Even after the deal.
We own all our shit to this day. We only do licensing deals. Don't nobody own our stuff. We not own. One thing about Barstool is our partners. We do a partnership with them, whereas though we license our stuff with them, and they go out there and get money with us.
Can you explain like a more in depth on like the partnership versus ownership? Like what's going on in the space where I guess some people they just sell their whole soul or
no? I don't believe it's that the case. I think some people don't know. A lot of people don't know. They think they got to give away stuff. One thing about $1 million worth of game, I can't speak for everybody else. When me and Gil created $1 million worth of game, we did it from the ground. We didn't do it from, oh, let's go get some money. Let's go. It wasn't as, you always had dudes doing it, but I don't think it was more popular as it is now. Now you got investors looking for people. Oh yeah, let me grab him. Let me put this money to it. Let me start this. I own 50%. And so it's a little different for people. But it wasn't like that. We just started it. 6 months later, we had a deal.
In 6 months?
In 6 months. We started in April. We had a joint by like November.
Can you tell me about that deal?
Licensing deal. That deal it took 5 minutes. It was so funny about that. We met up at a restaurant called Devon's in Philadelphia. Dave Portnoy and Erica Nardini came down, extraordinary partners. They came down, we sat there, they said something, we said something, and it was done. We went to legal.
So can you tell me the numbers on that?
Oh, that was about right then and there. This is why it's so great. That was about like 3.1 million for 36 months, a licensing deal.
Okay. One, I just want to like talk on the partnership real quick, but I really need to know how you know this stuff because it's something my mind can't really I can't wrap my mind around how you know what the people are going to do in a company and how it's going to, I just don't understand.
I'll tell every creative, I'll ask you, how do you know what questions to ask, how to frame the studio, what camera equipment to buy, how to edit, and then produce content? It's just time in. Because you're the same way. You put in a lot of work. You may not be all over social like everybody else 15 times a day, but you're doing the work, right?
Yeah.
Set's always been beautiful. Shout out to Montel and Arsenio up here, right? But it's just time in the market. So like when you actually study something, so for me in marketing, I knew I had to know psychologically and emotionally how to move people. So when you study the best brands of all time, they were always able to do that. But and people don't like the blueprint, but I'm like, read 50 pages a day, every day.
50?
That's light. Can we have an honest conversation? If you want to be rich, the bare minimum, and that's why like a lot of the things that I come off and say is shocking, like either I can tell the truth or give the answers for good content. Good content is 8 pages a day. And go drink all the Douce you want.
We on a strong,
and you'll be rich.
Our book club, we on a strong 10 here. So just tread lightly, brother. Now keep going. Give me the truth.
50 minimum.
Pages a day.
As Black people, we're already behind in every business category. Every. So if we have competitors that are doing minimum of 50, so like in my heyday, 2009, 2010, I was probably reading 400 or 500 pages a day. Like,
where do you find the time, bro?
You make what's the alternative to be broke? You got kids. So for me, I'm not going, like, look how stupid, like, imagine my son is here at 15. And I'm like, I could have provided for you, but I didn't want to read 50 pages, but I was going through OnlyFans and IG. You know how dumb that sounds? That's what I'm like, everyone is trying to, here's the easy formula to getting rich in business. No. How many hours a day do you work?
Hours. We be in here every day.
12, 13 hours.
Oh, at least.
I wish there was a way to like automate content and AI can take our voice and make 20. It doesn't work that way. So we have to and then also studying the market every day. Look at all the companies in the Dow 30. So the Dow has like a basket of 30 companies.
What is the Dow?
The Dow Jones is like an index. So a basket. They just put together the 30 best companies in America and they made an index out of it. So it's like an all-star team. Think of it that way.
Yo, I literally never knew that.
Yeah.
Because people talk about the Dow Jones. I don't know. Who is Dow Jones? Is that a person?
There were two founders of the company and made the index to make it a lot easier.
Good. I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole, but I had to ask.
You know what else it is that people don't realize that I feel like now people are really more understanding? Lifestyle inflation. I feel like I got smacked in the face with that. Lifestyle inflation, because people don't even realize, right? It's like you just said, right? You've been used to eating the same thing every single day, but now you get a pay raise. You go from making $50,000 to $150,000. So now it's just like, you know what? I'm about to get a pay raise.
100%.
Man, I'm used to eating tuna and crackers, but today we gonna get the Ruth Chris.
Now it's just tuna tartare.
Like now we have the tuna tartare,
not the chicken of the sea.
You know what I'm saying?
Tuna tartare.
Like now it's a whole different conversation because your mind is already prepped for making more money.
Yeah.
So immediately, subconsciously, you're prepped for spending more money. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So most people don't that's the other silent killer of it. It's like you're making more money slowly, but most people are also spending more money slowly and they don't even realize it. I'm used to living in the trenches, but now I see that new crib in Midtown, I'm gonna go turn up.
Yeah.
You didn't even realize you spending that kind of money now. It's a whole different conversation.
Yep.
Yeah, we spend my old salary on food a month.
Wow. Light flex.
It's disgusting, actually. It's not even something that I'm proud of. I eat so good. It's not even funny, honey. I get whatever I want on the menu. I have no control. I want all the appetizers. Why do I have to pick when I can have both? Ooh. And then at the end of the month, I'm like, I don't have to pick. Like, there are just a couple of things. And I think it's connected to past trauma. When I lost everything, 2008 to 2010, like nobody knew. Not my mom, not my daughter's father. Nobody knew that me and my daughter for about a year were splitting a Wendy's value meal. Like she get the fries, I get the nuggets, we split the drink. Like nobody knew. And I didn't live like that growing up. We were very middle class growing up. I discovered poverty on my own terrible financial decisions, right? And so nobody knew that my friends was taking us out and I would eat a little bit and like, oh, I'm not so hungry because I had to take the rest of the food home so Deja could have a delicious meal to eat, right? She never missed a meal. I would miss some meals, probably how I stayed so skinny at that time, but she never missed a meal. I would go on dates. Oh, you don't eat a lot. No, I don't. I'm taking food home to my daughter, right? Now,
that was the play?
It wasn't really the play.
The single mom play?
No,
that was the single mom play.
It wasn't really the play. Like,
I'm sorry, Daddy. It sounds like the single mom play.
It was not the play. I didn't date for real when I was going through that stage of my life, but I had people who were in my life before that happened.
I want to talk about this so bad.
That knew what was happening, that still wanted to look out, right? And we still hang out. I didn't date new people during that time. But anyway, I say that to say, now I've always been a lover of food. I'm from New Orleans. It's like the food capital of the United States, at least. I go, I want the calamari and the tuna tartare. By the way, let me get that shrimp cocktail. Can you tell me more about the lamb lollipops? Like, that's just me.
I've seen it. Ooh. In the flesh.
That is the one thing. There are people who put their money in cars, shoes. You got every hoodie, every game, every pair of Jordans. Feed me. You don't even have to feed. Like, I'm talking waitress, server, please feed me. Whatever the bill is, I got it. Yeah. Like, and when I look back and really calculated how much, because the food expense is one of those categories on my balance sheet that I don't ever want to look at.
You can't. You just can't justify it.
I can't justify how much money I am spending on food, but I've been this way for years. Just like you said, you've been doing this thing for 12 years. How do I stop? Like, how do I stop?
Building this. Okay, you're making calls at the yellowpages.com.
Yep.
Tell me about the business model first, what you do, and I want to know how you started.
So yellowpages.com, I decided to be the number one sales rep in the company and made it public, which has been my secret sauce for every year in business. Like I don't consider things like I decide what it's going to be and then I immediately make it public.
He said, I don't consider things.
So
yeah, this makes sense too. Okay.
So all the sales reps hated me, right? And I ended up becoming number one in the entire company, President's Club. And as soon as I won, a week after I won first place in the company, I quit. Because I learned that success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. I literally felt like what I was selling was a ripoff to people. I didn't believe it.
Wow.
And within a week of me feeling that scary feeling in my stomach, I immediately quit. And that's when I started my company SMB team. So,
Bill, I didn't think you were coming today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie to you. So we're at this mastermind. And what you just said, I don't consider things, I decide. We're at the mastermind, and obviously this mastermind, one, I've never been in a room like this, okay? And there's like, everyone's doing 10, 20, 30, $40 million a year. And I'm talking to Bill, and he kind of talk about, he got the acquisition offer, and I'm like, dang, I'd love that Bill on a podcast. So like we're talking, and I'm like, man, I'd love to get you on a podcast. She's like, all right, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked a bunch of people, and they said, okay, let's do it. And then you said, when you want to do it? I said, I shoot every Wednesday. He was like, all right, this Wednesday. And I'm like, cool, just hit me up, man. We can do it this Wednesday. I'm open. And I think you hit me back like, yo, what time are we going to be done or whatever? And I'm like, this is happening. He's really coming. I never had nobody do that. By the way, we're in another room. You're going to fly from wherever you live to Atlanta to come to the studio. Like you literally, I watched you make a decision, but I wasn't thinking about it like that until right now.
Yep.
I don't consider, there was mad people that, actually Jason just texted me. I think it was mad people in that room that considered it. Like, yeah, I think I'd do it.
Yeah.
And maybe I considered interviewing you and I didn't decide. I should have asked Timbaland.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah, Timbaland was in the room. Let me set the context here for those listening. So we me, David Shands, Marcus Barney, Neo. I mean, it was an absolutely stacked room. It's us and Grant Cardone for 2 straight days. We got dinner with Grant 2 nights in a row. He labeled it an influencer mastermind. And since we have a big brand for lawyers, I was honored to be invited, but I don't have the audience that David has or Neo's behind the camera right now. I don't have the audience that you guys have. I just have a very qualified audience. But I was grateful to be in that room. And what you're talking about, Timbaland was in the room sitting like 3 rows behind you for the entire influencer mastermind, just so that everyone understands what he's talking about. So,
look, so Neo talks to him. He's just one of those, he makes the decision. He's like, yo, I'm gonna have you on, have you at my event. And he pointed at me like, yo, I'm gonna have Dave interview. And I was like, oh, that'd be dope. But then I left saying, I'm now relying on Neo to create the relationship when we're both in the same room. That's why he makes so much more money than me.
Yep.
I could have just said, yo, Timberland, let me make sure I get your information. But now I'm relying on the executor to execute for me. You don't know how much this is helping me.
Yeah.
He got like, it's like he has his own page personality. You have your own page personality. Y'all come together and it's another show. And I'd imagine that when people are looking at y'all, it's like the whole gumbo of the combination of $1 million worth of game individually and collectively. So tell Donnie to start a podcast, bro.
No.
Why not?
I'm not going to tell her story. She might could do something else, but don't start a podcast. She got something. See, let me explain something to you.
Post more or something.
No. She could do that. but y'all got some magic that's going on.
We do.
What me and Gil got, we got magic. No matter what he do outside of this, no matter what I do, ain't nothing bigger than $1 million worth of game. That's our home. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times people get caught up and they be like, oh no. And it's just, everybody just start having these magical ideas. Like anything that we do decide to do is going to be under $1 million worth of game hub, but it's not going to be nothing far-fetched where I'm going over here, he going, that's just not happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We dying with this shit.
For sure. But I'm not saying we're going anywhere else. We're still a team. But like you are building your own following. He's building his own following. So when y'all come together, it's obviously you have to have the chemistry and the magic. But y'all own person, all y'all stuff that y'all do outside $1 million worth of game, I'm 100% sure it adds to the collective movement of all that y'all doing.
We always just doing us, but it's like everything goes back to $1 million worth of game to run traffic there.
Gotcha.
You know, everything is about that because that's the big show. That's what it's about.
So
She don't want to do it. Don't force her hand if she don't want to do it.
No, it doesn't matter. She didn't want to do the podcast together.
I didn't want to do this podcast.
And I forced her to do that, and
If
it
I'm
worked.
being totally honest.
She don't post. You saying she don't post? Let her chill.
That's not true. That's not true.
Why
So
you trying to do that?
David is always trying to micromanage my career.
Thank you.
What David has to
manager.
understand is I was lit before becoming friends with him. Okay. He wants me to look, and so let me be clear. Our definition of lit is different. I'm about my money and my impact, period. And I don't need hundreds of thousands of followers. If it happens, it happens. That's totally cool. But that's never, ever been like the lane that I'm looking for. David wants me to have hundreds of thousands of followers. But what you have to understand too is I'm 100% organic. I don't run any ads. I've had nothing external driving people to my page other than me. So what I have right now is all on me and the podcast. Like that's legitimately what happened. David wants me to do a podcast. I trademarked the name, I did everything, but I feel like I still miss the connection of how does this really benefit us as a unit versus sending me in a different direction.
Well, it's not necessarily, here's the thing. I wasn't thinking a different direction, right? So I have a joint where I do like 5-minute Fridays. All the stuff that I do outside the podcast drives traffic here.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying she needs to have a whole bunch of followers. It's just, I believe in her voice. And if she had like 30 minutes for people to just hear her without my interruption, like there are some people like that will only move based on her voice. So I'm always pushing her to go out and do more and give more of her message, not even herself, but more of her message to the world.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll do everything for you. Just come to the studio. We'll shoot it. We'll do all that stuff.
It ain't always got to be a podcast. It could just be her. She could be sitting in her car. She could be in the crib.
100%.
Throw a camera on her or throw a phone. You don't really need a camera. All you need is a phone. It's been empires built off of phones and shit. Like Barstool was built off of phones. You know what I mean? Like they did. It was a lot of phones. They was using phones. Like we was built off of phone. $1 Million River Game was built up outside of the show. Our whole movement is the phone.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I shot Where's Wallow with the phone.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I just think it ain't always got to be a podcast. I think we in a space where the first thing people think, oh my God, that was a nice post you had, or that was a nice conversation with you. You should start a podcast. I think it's more to that. You know what I mean?
For sure.
She might be more comfortable sitting on the couch and just kicking it. And that could be just content. I think it's about content, not about everything can be a podcast. Like you said, like I showed you, it's like 2.4. As of June 2022, it was 2.4 million podcasts in the world. 2.4. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? I don't know if y'all need to do that when y'all got something. I don't know if she can have a segment inside the show where it go to that, where it go to her sitting on the couch and she just bang him in the middle of your joint. That might, but just her taking it, because she like, I'm cool. And she said something that's very important. And I think we got to understand that in the culture. She said, oh no, I've been lit. And her definition of lit was, my bank account say that I'm lit, not social media. Because there's a lot of people that's lit on social media, but their bank account don't reflect them being lit. They financial statement don't say that they lit. They don't even have a tax attorney to say, oh no, I'm saving up. So you understand that. So she said something very important. She said, I ain't use no ads, I ain't do this, I ain't do that. So sometimes you gotta let people be them and be great at what they do. You know what I mean? It might not be a podcast.
But if I just let Donnie sit there, then she wouldn't be on this podcast and she wouldn't be like.
I'm not saying don't push you off a roof.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I do.
I'm saying.
So I feel you. Now the one thing I do agree with David, and I take total accountability. I've gotten lazy with posting content. And I used to be content.
Sure.
But now because we have the podcast and we got the clips and the episode and all of this stuff, I kind of have let the podcast just totally become all my content. That I'm going to give you. I will get back in the game and start shooting out content. I'm gonna give you that. And I'm not saying no to my own podcast. I'm just not saying, I'm a visionary. I just don't see how this makes sense. I feel like it causes division and then people are sharing their attention. I feel like we need to be all in on social proof. That's my thought. We can continue to strategize and think about it. We're not saying no. I'm just saying I don't see it.
Okay.
And what she said about I understand what you're saying. Like, and I understand what Dave's saying. Like, there's a lot of times people want to connect with just you outside of business, outside,
Sure.
and sometimes people would subscribe to your real life over your business life, and that could introduce people to your business life, as your business life can introduce people to your real life.
Yeah.
So I understand what he's saying because I done had conversations with him about that.
Yeah.
And like a lot of times I see a lot of business people, every fucking post is buy this, course.
Yeah.
It's like, do you got a real life?
Yeah.
Like, where's your real life at?
Yeah.
And I had talks with them, I'm like, yo, because you don't want to turn your whole life into just like a program of only thing you want is an infomercial for you to buy something.
Right.
When it's like, give some, just give, show them your real life.
Dave has my best interest. He's the best partner to have. He wants me to be more popular, y'all. That's what David wants. If we being totally honest, we'll be in the airport. Like, we both do the Social Proof podcast. We'll be in the airport. Everybody's like, Dave, man, I love what you and old girl doing with the podcast. And I'm like, it's me.
Nah, it don't even be that girl. She's standing right next to me. They be like, yo, I watch every episode of the Social Proof podcast. And I'll be looking at Di like, yo,
You
know
recognize
her?
her?
No, I don't really know. Yo, I watch every episode.
You don't
A
watch
lot of
every
people
episode.
watch clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll realize that a lot of people watch clips because they don't watch episodes because they'll be like, damn, man, you should have what's the name on you? Like, we did have him on the show.
Right, for sure.
You don't watch the show.
100%.
So, it's like, I think it's always good. Like I'm gonna tell you some real stuff though, D. That's a good feeling to have when somebody don't know you. That's the greatest feeling. Now, when everybody know you now, it's like, it's ready to top. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a great feeling when everybody don't know you. You know, when I go through that all the time, I'll be loving it. I'll be like, bet, you don't know me.
Nah, she be feeling terrible. She be like, no, look at me. Look at me. You don't know me? I'm
That's
like,
not the truth. Every now and then I be like, for real. Every episode. And
You
don't
watch
see
every
me.
episode, you don't know me.
Hey, I want to ask this too. You're the cultural advisor
Or YouTube.
of YouTube. How you do that?
Being me and really having proof and being like out here, like you always say you got social proof. I love that. I remember I love that name because it was like, I always say something, you got to have proof of concept. And a lot of times people don't have proof of concept. A person to say, I do this, I do, like in a bio. Social media is based off bios and people write all this stuff in the bio and it's like, you never did nothing.
Yeah.
I understand what you're aspiring to be, but you never did nothing. And one thing to read, the way I was able to get that is because I had proof, of what I'm doing. I'm executing out here.
Yeah.
I'm an executor. And I did a lot of stuff out here. You know what I mean? So I was able to get in that type of position doing stuff. We created an unbelievable program, YouTube Avenues. We went to 5 cities, Philadelphia, DC, Detroit, Houston, and Oakland / San Fran. We just finished the first cycle of that. We're working on the next cycle next year where we educating people how to monetize on YouTube, what demonetize you on YouTube, how to grow on a platform, how to build your page out, how to get paid on it. It's a lot we teach. Unbelievable crew, a team of people.
Give me some game. Can you give me some
Hold up
game?
1 minute. Unbelievable. I got to give you these. I got to shout these people out. The crew, our leader, Tuma Basa. We got Rachie over there. We got Mahalet over there. We got Adam over there. We got Bella over there. We got Chelsea over there. We got Sydney over there. We just got Brittany over there. We got an unbelievable crew and a cast of people that look like us. And it's out here educating because a lot of times for a long time, people thought YouTube was just a big ass warehouse full of computers. You know what I'm saying? No, it's real people that just like us is handling some of the biggest accounts and handling some of your biggest artists or some of your biggest creators on the platform.
So give me one of your greatest calls.
Of recent, I called Bitcoin going to 20,000 when it was at 59,000. The entire world thought it was crazy. And
That sounds crazy. How do you know, bro?
And when it got to 20,000, I said it was going to recover in 63 days. It recovered in 62. This is all documented.
Yo, I know we got to read the 50, right? But how do you, give me all the information that you're coming together to be able to pinpoint a price. So blueprint, the whole Bitcoin thing.
Okay, yeah.
In the 63 days, that's very specific.
Because that was what he doesn't know. Because you know how, our community can be rough with us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, he don't know. I don't even like how he delivered the information. He arrogant. So I'm like, okay, let me tell you the number of days that it's going to recover in. And then for me, that's an exercise in trust. Because what's happened historically in our community, somebody will give information and it may work 1 or 2 times and then we end up losing everything. So our guard is up. So I have to go through a few more barriers of trust than most people have to do. But the blueprint is looking at your craft every day, 12 hours a day for 7 years, and you'll be good. Now, if you want to look, okay, and here's the blueprint. If LeBron is your favorite player, and we're in game 6 of the NBA Finals, you can go and see on average how many points he scores in a game 6. Mm-hmm. I treat the market the same way. So I'm writing down the prices every day, marking off where they are, and tracking, okay, if we fall 33%, how often does it take a top 5 company to recover to get back to a high versus a company that's in the Russell 2000 and maybe number 583 on the list? It's time in. People don't, and that's not the viral, sexy answer. But if you really want growth, financial freedom, that's the real key. So go ahead.
So specifically Bitcoin, give me like some things that you knew were going to happen that's going to affect this drop. Or are you saying it's going to drop every so often?
Yeah, I mean,
anyway?
it drops but everything rolls on a cycle. So when it became popular and we heard about it, I was telling everyone, all the hedge funds are buying it. So knowing when the hedge funds are going to buy an asset or a stock allows you to understand timing, because if capital comes in, they have to put that money to use every 3 months. Because they can't, if they get $40 million or $2 billion in from a client, they can't sit on it from a year. They have to deploy it. Mm-hmm. That was number one. Number two, like I have a system for knowing where prices are going to go. Some people call it the crystal ball, but I'm literally marking off. And the worst case scenario, this is a great tip for everyone. In the worst case scenario for every asset you buy, a business, equipment, real estate, what's the absolute lowest price you should buy that asset to give you the greatest return? Because all your victories and all your wins are going to come on a price that you buy, not the asset that you get.
But, I mean, we could say that the best price is $1, right? But some things aren't going to be that.
Everything has a floor, though. So marking off where those floors or those bottoms in the market are is the key thing. Most people want to just buy and gamble. And that's the truth. The discipline that's required to be good, people don't want to sacrifice. But I don't know about everybody else in the room. I've been broke. So like when lights are off and like you ever like went into a cupboard or a cabinet and nothing was in there and you closed it and prayed to God the food to be in there and opened it back up.
Just make sure you missed nothing.
Right? And then I could have swore some crackers in the corner somewhere for me. And then when 2008 came, my friend Art made a ton of money in the market. He was the first Black person I ever saw like be excited when the market crashed. I'm like, why the hell are you happy? Gas was like $4.23. I was living here at the time, so I'm driving from Midtown going to Alpharetta, Norcross. I'm like, gas killing me, bro. How are you making money? He's like, it's the best time to buy. So he knew how to trade and invest. And he was like, Black people are the only people, when a recession hits, we don't treat it as an opportunity. We treat it as a disaster. And he worked at JP Morgan. So he started showing me what he knew. Like, I think Art bought Citi at 97 cents, 99 cents. Like, he still retired off those investments.
Goodness gracious.
From that. So that's when I was like, I'll never miss another recession. I'll never miss another opportunity. I'm just going to study, build, put all, like the Kobe thing. Floyd Mayweather, all the signs of there, Steve Jobs, Michael Jordan, Kobe, Tiger Woods, any great, Oprah, all had the same schedule. 12 hours a day. There's no balance. You have to pick whether you want to be great at something or not.
They all have the same schedule.
Got the same opportunity. As most people are not consistent enough, long enough to be able to manifest what they truly want.
Restricting your dating when you were, I don't want to say broke, but like
out broke as hell. Yes.
So like, can we really, like, I feel like this should be normalized. Like, I feel like more people, and especially I could only talk as a man because I'm a man, but like more men need to understand if you're not in a particular place financially, why are you focusing on women?
I don't agree.
You don't.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
You what?
I do not finish your point.
Okay. Now I gotta come correct. Because I'm gonna rebuttal.
Tie it up.
All right, no.
Thought this was a no-brainer. No. It's always a brainer.
No. We gonna get it. Nah. So I feel like I gotta pick up the mic. Like, well, thesis. Nah. So I mean, honestly, like, I feel like if you're really trying to change your situation. You don't like your credit score, you don't like your bank account, you don't like the place you are in life, right? Why the hell are you focusing on women?
Yeah.
Focus on your grind, focus on your bag, focus on changing your class in society. Then you can go back and double back. And I mean, don't get me wrong, if like, you know, the right woman shows up in your life, whatever the case may be, and y'all grind it out, because I see that happen every day, then absolutely make it happen, make it count, and y'all build something together, right? But your main focus and main priority should not be courting women. Your main focus and priority should not be, hey, yo, what's up, ma? Let me take you out. Like, and then you out here. And then the worst part about it is you going on that date, you ask her to split the bill. Brokey?
Okay, now Brokey.
That's crazy to
First
me.
of all, Brokey is one of my, okay, little Brokey, sit down.
That's crazy to me.
Okay, little Brokey.
That's crazy.
That I don't agree with. I don't agree with
splitting the bill?
Yeah, no, that's weird.
That's
weird.
when I used to be a server, I swear to, like, I'm gonna tell y'all this one time, right? There was a meal called
Yo,
a mark.
you were the lit server. I already
Oh,
know.
yeah, he was on
Best freaking
You were the lit.
I had people literally waiting for me, tables out, 2 hour wait for Brian.
Yeah,
but
I can
anyway,
imagine.
I digress. Like, I remember we had a meal called the Marco meal, right? You could get like a chicken parmesan
Where was you
spaghetti.
working?
Maggiano's.
Okay, all right, for sure.
Yeah, in Garden City, right?
Trash Italian food.
I like Maggiano.
No.
The
I
chicken
don't like-
parmesan sandwich is crazy.
Anyway,
They put carrot chunks in their spaghetti or lasagna, one of them, and it always tripped me out. Like, who puts chunks of carrots in
it's
their
in the
spaghetti?
eggplant parmesan.
It's in the
How do I remember that?
Yeah.
I
Yo,
was about to sell a whole Marco meal.
hey, Reese, give me the
wait.
camera. First off, I love Maggiano's. I will do an ad right now.
Right
I
now.
love y'all.
Wait, Reese,
Maggiano's.
come over here real quick.
I'm so mad this is
Maggiano's,
happening
when
right
I
now.
said that the experience was subpar, I meant the one time that I went, but
Not them
David
giving
wasn't-
free
he
publicity to
didn't
the place
let
that fired me. That's
he didn't
crazy.
Let me finish talking about all the other times that I went, and there was something on your menu that was absolutely outstanding for somebody there, and we would love to do an ad. Anyway, go ahead.
Not them giving free publicity to the place that fired me.
Oh, they fired
The
you.
loyalty, crazy.
I don't know. I
Crazy.
feel like
Why'd they fire you?
you could have earned the fire.
That's
you,
not-
Oh, he's the
That's-
type.
you
Yeah,
give me earned fired energy.
it was for no reason, bro.
Cut the episode. Like,
Your personality said something that got you.
oh wow. What's
Okay, real quick, put a pin in it. But why'd you get fired?
Damn. Let me. Why did I get fired?
Exactly.
No,
Exactly. You weren't wrong.
You know what
Your
it
fault
is?
termination.
Nah, you know what? Because honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I was insubordinate. Like,
Were we wrong?
Yo, camera
right.
back, Reese. See,
really though?
Maggiano's, we're on your side.
It's
Okay,
that gift of
We
discernment.
love to do
Loyalty is great. Anyway, back to my story. So I'm with I'm taking care of a two top. That's a couple, right? And they get a chicken parmesan. The chicken parmesan 19.
Hold on, two top is possible.
That's
What?
possible.
How is that
Not
possible?
possible.
That's two people on a table.
D.
Two top.
Two people on the table? That's awesome.
Crazy.
I'm
That's
sorry.
crazy.
Yo, we're trying to understand it.
Nah, that's really.
He's like, yo, I'm nervous sitting on this table on this couch right now.
Is this not a safe place? Like, what's
This is not a safe
Yo, this
place.
whole room has been very New York all
Oh
day,
my
bro.
God, bro.
All right,
Yo,
go ahead.
we
I'm
filming
sorry.
in New York next
I'm
time, bro. This is
sorry.
crazy, bro.
Stay on task. Stay on
Yo,
task.
this is crazy. So anyway, bro, I don't forget my whole story,
So
bro.
you were
Like,
serving the
It
two
was a
top.
two
I
top.
was right. So parenthesis. We was talk about brokies taking females out taking women out when you know they don't got the bag like that, right? Cool. So I'm at a table, right, and they order a chicken parmesan. Chicken parmesan, $20, $19.95, right? The bill come. He said, "Yo, you could do separate checks
What?
on a $19.95 meal, my guy. Separate checks." I honestly, like, I wanted to say it with every heart. Like, I asked my manager if I could do this. I was like, yo, can I take care of this table? Can I just cover the bill for my mans? Because I think it's kind of looking bad right now for my boy, you know? But it just kind of, like, I don't, like, if you, and I'm not trying to speak on nobody's pockets or nothing like that, but is it safe to say that if you have to split a $20 meal, you probably weren't in the best financial situation to go on this date?
Either that or she wasn't giving take me home energy.
Regardless, though, as a man,
That's
The date didn't go well.
No. Regardless, I'm gonna stand on that. Regardless, even if the date is trash,
you need to still cover.
you
that
gotta
bill.
hold your own, like
Yeah,
for real, like
yes.
as a man.
But I can relate to someone who if the conversation isn't going well, now I couldn't do it because my temperament and my
Your
heart
class
won't let me do that. But if we thought it was something else and I'm getting the vibe that you are just here for a meal, oh. No.
You Dutching it all day?
I'm not, but I can understand somebody doing it.
Nah,
here?
but that's still
Dutch
crazy.
boy.
Dutch boy over
That's
here.
crazy.
Whole bunch of Dutch boys out here. Yo,
Bunch of
listen, man.
Dutch
All my
boys
Dutch
out
boys
here.
comment in the chat.
Nah. You gotta kill him with
I'm
kindness.
with you. First of all, I just don't think so. It's twofold. I don't think that it's black or white. I don't think that you should just absolutely not be dating because you're broke, right? I don't think for any reason it should be your focus. You should not be focused on dating. When I was broke, like I was so broke, I was embarrassed to date, but I'm really transparent. So people knew, like I would turn people down and guys never take no for an answer. So it's like, no, for real, like, come on, we should. And I'm like, no, my money's not together right now. My mind is on a whole totally different place. I'm a single mom and I just gotta, like, my daughter right now is my priority. I would say that, like, that's my conversation. And people would still say, but let me just treat you to something nice. You deserve something nice. And every now and then you like, you know what? I do deserve something nice. I do deserve more than just going home and turning on a TV with the basic cable because everything has been cut off and going home and eating another pack of ramen noodles. So every now and then you say yes, but that person knew what they were dealing with and what I was dealing with. I am a bring something to the table kind of woman, and that doesn't mean financially, right?
Spicy.
I'm a bring something to the table woman, and let me explain that before women be like, men are supposed to. It starts with me. And in that phase in my life, I felt so depleted. Like I felt like I brought nothing to the table, not even good conversation, because my mindset was so focused on something else that I couldn't be a good date to you. So I'm not going to come with my down energy and my down pockets and my down everything else and do what? So I personally just wasn't open to like dating during that time. And I think men who are in that situation, I believe that everybody should have companionship at every point in their lives, right? Because it literally keeps you sane. Having people around you keeps you sane. Mm-hmm. But if you are a man spending your last dollar to date, you're never going to stop that cycle and get out of that hole.
To answer your original question as to how the business started and what we sell, and this is what I really, really want to share. So if you're listening right now, like lean in, like really, really listen to this because my intention is to have you make $20 million from this.
Be serious about that.
Just to be crystal clear.
Let me fix my posture.
And
I think I was slouching too much. Ramon fixed his joint too. He said, let me just get
like
right.
The first, there's 4 phases in any business that I've identified. The first phase is the rainmaker phase.
Hold on, because this
Okay.
is just for the interview.
The second phase is the demand phase. The third phase is the awareness phase. And the fourth phase is the management phase.
Hold on, because I got my notes out. Because
Right.
I need this. So number one is
rainmaker, demand,
rainmaker,
demand, awareness, and then management.
demand, awareness.
So
Awareness.
it goes from sales to marketing to management in those phases. So let me explain. So when you start a business, most people never escape the rainmaker phase. Rainmaker phase is where everything depends on you, your selling abilities, your product, your relationships. Most people just stop there. That's usually going to be a 2-3 employee company. What it really is one talented person with a few helpers. And that's where most businesses just stop right there. That's the rainmaker phase. Now, depending on how expensive what you sell is, you could take the rainmaker phase to, I don't know, $400K a year, right? Most people don't. Most people stop at $200K. If you look at the small business statistics, like most businesses are doing under $100,000 a year. I mean, you're basically quitting a job to have a lower paying job. Most people when they start a business. I mean, I'm serious. It's horrific for most business owners. So the rainmaker phase is where you must. Did I say should or must? I forget.
Must.
Okay, yeah. You must collect excess money, capital. You have to grow your bank account to where you can invest in marketing, right? And then that brings us to the demand phase. So the rainmaker phase, the skill you must master is sales. Sales and charging enough money to where you're able to bank it. And you're only going to end up with like max 100K in your bank account. Once you got 100K in your bank account, you're like, okay, I'm getting to the end of the rainmaker phase. Now we have to go out on a limb. And that's the demand phase. That's where we actually have to find a way to create demand for what we sell. Whether that's the internet, whether that's through a different marketing vessel of sorts. What a big mistake people make is they see people like Neo, Marcus Barney, and all these others that we were just with, and they think, I'm going to do what Neo does. I'm going to do what David Shands does. I'm going to get all this awareness and create a big... And what happens is they don't have the capital or the resources that you do. They're not able to create a studio. They're not able to... And what they should be focused on is demand-focused marketing. How close is the attention that I get and turning that into money? Well, most people do, they want glamour. They want followers. They want all this crap that does not result in money, right? So they skip to the awareness phase, which is phase 3, and that's a mistake. We need to embrace the demand phase. So
I need to go a little deeper on this demand.
Yeah.
So let's say, for instance, I have,
yeah, I'll give you one.
I have a group, I have a morning meetup.
Yep.
Right. And it's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So we coach every morning, Monday through Friday. And there's hundreds and hundreds of people in it. We got over 1,000 people in it. How do I create demand for that?
Mm-hmm. So like an example of a marketing channel that creates immediate demand for that is very simple. Instagram DMs. Like so simple. So I'm saying, you got to wipe your mind for a second because you have an audience and you run one of the most successful podcasts out. So you got to bring yourself back to before you had a podcast. Okay. Picture you have no audience at all. A demand-focused marketing strategy is a direct DM to someone asking them to buy your stuff. Okay. That is demand-based marketing, right? That's borderline sales. So demand-based marketing is where you go right for the throat. I built my business to $1.5 million using primarily cold email. I found attorneys' email addresses and I reached directly out to the decision maker and asked them to buy my product. I didn't play any of the, I'm going to build a brand and have all these followers. No, I went, I'm going to collect the money from this person using cold email. So I built a cold email strategy. That is a demand-focused marketing strategy. Right for the throat, right to the decision maker. Don't play this tap dancing of I'm going to build an audience and grab all these followers and maybe, just maybe, they'll buy from me. Because people are inspired by you and they want to build what you built, like a podcast like you built. But sometimes it's the wrong timing for that. So what we need to do is we need to get our team and our business to that $1 million mark going right for the throat.
Got it.
And a lot of people take too long to grow their business past the $1 million mark because they take too long building a brand when it's too early. They should just be reaching right out to the people who can buy their stuff.
I got it. Because obviously that will spark more testimonials, more people talking about it. You're fulfilling your audience, and I guess it kind of gets some word of mouth going in the beginning and accelerated revenue.
Yep. So what I'm saying is if you want to add $1 million onto your business in 1 year, go directly to the people who can buy your product or service.
Got it.
If you want to take 5 years to get there, do branding.
Build a brand.
Like, right?
Anybody feel attacked? Anybody here feel attacked? Okay, good. Because we are too cool. We like too cool to just go at it and DM somebody.
All right. So awareness is the next phase. That's what you've mastered. You've mastered awareness. Awareness can take you from that 2-3 mil mark, 1-ish mark to $10 million a year. Without a real valid business model, you can build a $10 million business on just a crazy strong brand, right? Sell a low ticket thing, $49 a month. Sell a, mid ticket thing that's around $7K, and then high ticket is where we're like $30K plus on the offer, right? So you can choose one of those 3 models. $49 a month, that's low ticket, $7K, $30K plus, right? So you have these 3 models, and then you plug a brand into it, and you become unstoppable, right? So you've done this with Social Proof Podcast. Neo and Marcus Barney have done this with their brands. Circle of CEOs, everyone's Circle of CEOs has done this, right? They build a brand, and then they all have different offerings. Alex Burton has a low ticket offering. Marcus and Neo, they charge a lot of money, right? And Marcus also has lower offerings as well. But awareness is where we leverage Instagram, content marketing, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is to get attention and to turn that into buyers.
Yo, this is actually contradictory to what most people like. I would say like 90% of entrepreneurs go, because they just go straight to, let me create cool videos.
Yeah.
Let me create cool content.
Yep.
Versus doing the work to drive revenue.
Yeah. And I'm only sharing I'm sharing my experience. There are people who have done mixes of this. It's not black and white, but in me scaling from 0 to a $45 million valuation company in 4.5 years, like this is what I swore by, is going directly for the throat for the first 2 years, 2 phases of business growth, and then expanding into awareness marketing.
Got it.
For me, that was learning how to do webinars, how to do virtual events, how to do interviews like you do. That's where I started interviewing all the thought leaders, which built our email list. And then that's where we turned it into us learning how to sell from stage, where is 80% of our business comes from now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We can go into that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And we will, Bill.
Yeah. So the 4th phase is the management phase. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm sorry for everyone listening. Okay. Most entrepreneurs don't have the intellectual humility to manage their business.
I need an explanation.
Okay. Most entrepreneurs make enough money to be the most wealthy person in their family, milk out their skills, get to a certain level where they're just like, I'll just milk this out until I die one day. Pocket whatever I'm pocketing, and won't learn how to manage my company, won't learn how to become a true leader. And they stop. So what is management? Management is how you scale past $10 million a year. And management is where you learn how to transfer all of your skills and abilities to others, where you become a full-time coach, right? See, a lot of people, I know you have a big following. A lot of people build coaching-based businesses. It's the fastest growing niche right now of all verticals, other than like this one technology. I think it's like it's a specific subset of blockchain right now that's growing really fast. It's like a payment technology within blockchain, but then it's coaching businesses, just rapid growing right now. Because as we've approached an information society, there's so much influx of information that people need help disseminating it, and people need coaches. It's crazy. So the management phase is where you learn how to take whatever you've been doing coaching. Let's say you have a coaching program and you're coaching other people. You learn how to take that internally to your team. You learn how to coach your chief operating officer. You learn how to coach your salespeople if you have a sales team. You learn how to coach your marketing team if you have someone on your marketing team. You actually learn how to take everything you do for your clients and customers, and then you gear it towards your internal team. And you make them champions, and you make them a lot of money. And when you make your team a lot of money and you make your team very happy, they make your clients a lot of money, and they make your clients happy. So now, instead of you having to inspire however many people you have in your program, how many people you have in the morning?
About 1,000.
1,000 people in the program. You're inspiring these 1,000 people all the time. Now we got to take that and inspire everyone on your team just as much as you spend inspiring the 1,000 people that are in your program.
That is good.
And then that's where exponential growth comes from.
I think, remember we were talking about earlier, you said that people don't not want to be successful.
Yeah, everyone wants to be.
I don't know if that's entirely true, because from where I'm from, what's more important than being successful is being real. And being real.
Who teaches that nonsense? And believe me, I'm the real Bradley.
Yeah.
My brands are all real. So I would be like, yeah. But dude, what's real? You have to define that for me real quick.
So from where I grew up, there's a loyalty, right? Where I remember going to get like my first job. Now, me and my friends, we play basketball, we hang out, we do absolutely nothing on the weekends, and we just kick it, right? But if I want to go do something else, the environment says, oh, well, why aren't you hanging out with us? And me going to do something more progressive with my life will sometimes play a factor on me, because I know what people are going to think about me. So I don't necessarily want to be too far away from these people.
Why?
It's the environment I grew up in.
Okay, so you made a choice.
Yeah.
Be happy with it.
100%. That's what I'm saying. But not everybody wants to be successful for the fear of what other
Everybody
people
wants to
think.
be successful.
You think?
I guarantee it, dude. They may not be telling you. Do you want to be successful?
I want to be successful.
Name
yes.
someone who doesn't.
Me as a teenager.
You didn't want to be successful.
I didn't want to be successul.
My ass, you didn't want to be
Here's
successful.
the thing.
You
Because
wanted to be successful?
I would want to, if I got too much separation from my friends, if I went and became successful, the people that I love wouldn't accept me.
No, you just feared that would happen.
Yes. So I didn't want what I feared.
Well,
So I didn't
again,
want to be successful.
You did, though. You just didn't want the consequence of being successful. Dude, everybody wants to be successful.
Correct. Yes.
Who doesn't want to be successful? Show me the person that doesn't want to be successful. And after I talk to them for a little while, they'll admit they do want to be successful. But they don't want to lose their mom. They don't want to lose their friends. They don't want to, be laughed at and ridiculed and poked at. So, and mentally, we could believe these things. And just because we believe them doesn't make them true, by the way. But you could have believed that if you succeed, dude, all your friends are gone. And so you said, no, I want to keep my friends. I'm loyal. I'm real. When in reality, that number one wasn't even the truth. Number two, in my opinion, again, like money's not more important than relationships.
Yeah.
So like, don't get it twisted. Like I always tell people, look, here's how it goes. Number one, health. Why health? Because without the health, you'll give up all your money to get that back.
Yeah.
Trust me, you will. So you want health, number one. Number two, you want relationships. Why? Because if you knew you were going to die, you don't think about your businesses and your cars and your worldly possessions. You think about people.
Yeah.
And then thirdly is money. Why? Well, because with money, you have all the other things that you want, which is crazy because health takes money. So the healthier you are, the more money it costs. But what's coincidental, the more healthy you are, sound mind, body, and spirit, the more money you make. So the more money you make, the healthier you can get, which is funny because relationships, if you think about it, is where all dollars come from. Every dollar you've ever received is from some sort of relationship.
That's a fact.
So the richer you get, the more relationships, the easier they are. They come by the dozens when you're rich. Doors open, invites everywhere. So the more relationships you have, the more money that comes. The more money that comes, the healthier you get. The healthier, these are options. You don't have to. But it's all cyclical. The more money you get, the more relationships you get. The more relationships you get, the more money you get. If I always say, you want more money, make more relationships. And then people look, oh, you don't know how to make a relationship? Come on. Go out, introduce yourself. Well, I don't want people to think. See, now we're right back to the bullshit.
When you first got your first success, I'm talking about after a few years, your business is successful.
Dude, I'm still sometimes saying, dude, you made it. I look at my bank account and I'm like, dude, I'm a multimillionaire. Isn't that weird to think? But it's true. And then I think, and that's just a bank account. One. Okay. I haven't even looked at the other ones. That doesn't include assets. It doesn't include anything. So I sit there and I go, dang, even still.
Yeah.
Why? Because I was told I was never going to make it. Now, if I cared about everybody else's opinion, that would have stuck with me.
When you first got your big chunk of, when you realized you're successful, or in that first few years, the money's coming in, did it change you at all? Did it affect you in any way?
I think it amplified me. In other words, I think money doesn't change people; it amplifies people. So if you're a dick with no money, you'll be a bigger dick with money.
Right.
And if you're a dick with money, you're going to be a bigger dick broke.
Right. We're going to bleep all this out. This is good. But did you, even arrogance or the pride of life, and none of that affected you?
No, I don't think so.
A lot of people, not even business people. What they did is somebody gave them the game of, I got an LLC, 2, 3 that was sitting here. Somebody helped me get my personal credit together. Then I ran into somebody that understand business credit. They ran my shit. Now I got some platinum Amexes on these 3 different companies and these limits. Let me go crazy. Wop, 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 wop. Let me go get this Lambo. Let me go get this all this drip. Let me go get the Rolex. Let me go get this. And it's like people is watching them sitting at home that really got businesses, and they sitting there saying, I'm not doing enough. No.
Yeah.
You really got a business.
Yeah.
Just like the girl that's running around here. You know what I mean? Sisters, I spoke at a lot of women conferences, and I had to check them. I had to check a lot of women like, listen. Hold up. You sitting there, I'm not doing enough. I only sold 35 t-shirts. I only sold this much hair. Oh, my boutique ain't this. And look at her. Baby girl, look at me. What you doing is actually real. But you got to get off of Instagram. Get off of Instagram. And you're looking at that chick that keep being on all these beaches. You know what she's not showing you? She's not showing you the other side of the camera, that fat that's taking the picture that she's selling that thing to.
She not sure.
She not doing no business. She went and got her body done, the main man is taking care of her. But she got you thinking that she doing business because you keep seeing her buy bags and all this other shit.
She doing transactions. She ain't doing business.
She not doing no business. And you all sitting at home and you really doing business. Oh, things ain't going right for me. Things ain't this. Oh, why this and why me? I ain't gonna start my business. That. And then we got the flip side of that. I'm gonna say something to all the entrepreneurs out there. The real entrepreneurs is really doing it. Doing it from the ground. You starting that t-shirt line, you're doing your music, or you're selling, you're cooking, you're doing this. Let me tell you something very important. It's 8 billion people on this planet. You better not. You better not let them 20 people that you know directly, them 20 little people, stop you from connecting with the 100,000 customers that you got out because you got in your feelings because them 23 people that you know, they supported you once, then double back. Ain't nobody supporting me. They don't support my friends. I hate them joints on Instagram. My friends don't support me. Why is you worrying about your friends? You only know 50 people. It's 8 billion people on the planet. You mean to tell me them 20 people gonna stop you from moving? I had to shut my business down because nobody was supporting me. For them 20 people you know, is you losing your mind? You losing your mind? You let 20 people, most of them don't even really like you like that, and they might be jealous because you're doing something that they not doing, and you let them stop you from connecting with them other people. If you would have went 60 days or 90 days more, you probably would have connected with some investors. You probably would have did an event for your catering business, you know, and sometimes you got to do some shit for free. One of the greatest things I did, I made $1 million, I probably made millions off, was for free. You was there. I get a call from Jacory that time about the TED Talk. Nicole Purvey. She called me. She said, Wallow, I think I got something for you. I said, how much they charging me, man? I mean, how much I'm getting? This one I understood what invoices and booking was. I'm talking about this was like in 2018. I'm like, oh yeah, bet. It's going to be in Atlanta. She said, yeah, you're going to do a TED Talk. This and that third. I said, what? How much are they giving me? She said, Wallow. Wallow, this is going to be for you. I said, what you mean it's going to be for me? How much they giving me? I'm popping. I need some money. Right? So she said, just hear me out. I get on the phone with Jacory. He said, listen, Wallow, I'm going to put you on this TED Talk. I don't have no money for you, but I got a hotel for you. And that's when he put me in one of my favorite hotels in Land of the Whitley. Right? I didn't know it, but I like that joint. He put me there. He said, I'm going to put you in there. I'm going to get you a flight too. He got me a flight too. This, then the third. So I said, all right, cool. Got me a flight. He put me in there. I went and did the TED Talk. I Forgive My Brother's Killer TED Talk. You remember that? He was there. I lost count of how many bookings I got from that speech. Wow. So when I'm saying do something for free, you got some good food and you know your food snapping, this is what you do. Find events that's happening. Hey, go right in the joint. Look for flight. I'm going to cater your event for free. What you gonna come out of pocket? A couple $100 or something? You know what I mean? If you, first of all, find the people in your family, or find the friends that you know that's willing to invest in you. Yeah. Find the people that's willing to say, what girl, you, listen, cuz I'm trying to do this, and the third, I need $500 here. Because that one event that you cater for free could turn into 50s. Because if your food really like that, people, and your preparation is like that, your cleanliness is like that, the way you look when you in there serving food, your team is over. The look is the hook.
If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.